Welcome back, everyone, to theCUBE here on the ground floor at AWS Summit in New York City, the Javits. This is the annual event that Amazon has. It's a free conference, all the hands-on practitioners. Everyone comes in town for this week. We're also doing a media week, AI meets cloud, at our NYC studio as part of the AWS activation here. Again, everyone comes in town. It's an end user event, but they got a lot of customers here in New York, a lot of partners. It feels like reInvent. Our next guest is Ankur Mehrotra, who will be the GM of SageMaker and SageMaker AI. Felt like we were at reInvent last time. Ankur, great to see you.
Good to see you too, John. Great to talk to you again.
I just had a little deja vu. I felt like I was at reInvent because I'm talking about reInvent. It feels like this event is like a little mini reInvent because the first half of the year was highly accelerated at many levels. One, the massive transformation of AWS itself since reInvent.
Yep.
At the scale of the size of the company, shipping products, working with the customers, pretty impressive. I mean, you guys aren't saying it. That's my takeaway from being in Seattle in June, talking about all the leadership. It's pretty impressive. I just want to give you props on that. So, and then the second thing, the code shipping coming out of the company, the customer activity, what they're doing, it's pretty phenomenal. It feels like a full year just got compressed.
Absolutely.
I think like a half a year.
Yeah, I think this whole space is moving so fast. I mean, the new AI itself is moving so fast. There are new technologies and new advancements happening every day. So, and our customers are also, they're now ready to go. They're past that phase where they were only doing experiments with Gen AI, and now a lot of our customers have, AI-based products running in production at scale. So they're also looking to innovate quickly and maximize business value. So at AWS, we are focused on, working backwards from the needs, and I think our teams are working
They're shipping a lot of product.
Yeah,
and let's get into the SageMaker update, because that reInvent, you laid out a really good narrative. Folks watching out there, check out that video from reInvent. And it lays out where SageMaker really clarified the role that SageMaker plays for the advanced user, Bedrock, really more developer. What's the news? What's the SageMaker AI story? Can you share the news you're breaking here? Swami gave the big talk and showed the custom Nova models.
Yeah.
Obviously, SageMaker's a little under the hood, advanced mode. I called, advanced, that's my word, not yours, but like, it's where the power users go.
Absolutely, yeah. So, SageMaker is a service where we come to build, train, deploy, and manage, organize AI models. And it's now used by hundreds of thousands of AWS customers. The service has really grown since its inception in 2017. We've got a number of announcements today, and then there are a few capabilities that we announced last week as well.
So what's the highlights? Give us the top highlights.
Yeah, so first, what we're announcing today is new Nova model customization capabilities. So what we're really seeing is that as access to different Gen AI models is being democratized, organizations are thinking about, well, how can I further differentiate myself? How can I create more unique experiences that help my business stand out? So one of the ways they're looking to do that is by taking their proprietary data and then customizing these AI models for their use case, for their brand voice, so for their the experience that they want to create for their users, and customizing these models with your own proprietary data is really about helping the model learn new information, learn how to perform new tasks, or understand the really spirit of your brand and the voice and guidelines more. And what's interesting is that models, as they're learning, or you think of the model training process, models learn different skills at different phases in that learning process. So, in the pre-training stage, they learn more about grammar and syntax, and then the post-training, they learn how to sort of understand.
It's like going to school.
It's like going to school, exactly.
They learn the ABCs, I put sentences together, next thing you know,
exactly.
You have a conversation.
So just like in different grades, you learn different things. The same is true for models as well. So we know that there are different techniques and different tools and capabilities that customers need to be able to add specific new skills or knowledge or data to the model. And so what we're announcing today is a comprehensive set of model customization capabilities for Amazon Nova on SageMaker AI. And so this includes the ability to do continued pre-training of Nova models, to do fine-tuning, both the lighter weight LoRa-based fine-tuning to full model fine-tuning, as well as reinforcement learning based model customization. As you may remember, reinforcement learning more recently has become...
Yeah, but human input has been great.
Human input, and from human input, from AI model feedback as well. So it's becoming...
Evaluation has become a huge discussion. I was just at the Databricks event and Snowflake, and some of the best agent work coming out is the homework you do on the front end, the work, preparing the agent. Evaluation's the number one thing. Not just evaluation, like, is it a good agent? Like, there's mathematics behind all this.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of science behind setting the table for this.
Yeah, so earlier before pre-Gen AI, the models used to be classification models or regression models that are predicting numbers. And in that case, evaluating models was as simple as looking at, hey, what's the accuracy? What's the, delta, precision recall, or MAPE metrics? And now with the Gen AI models, because they're generating content, the dimensions of evaluation are much broader. You have to look at, the friendliness of the tone of the chatbot, or whether the content is safe,
in all evolutions, even sentiment analysis, happy, sad, there's no real context in between, but as you get more granular, this is where you start to see the value of AI. Talk about this, because this is like where the top conversations we're having around this is that, first of all, it's great to be right. We published the first power law 3 years ago saying there'd be a power law of models. Matt Garman was on the record 3 years ago saying, no, multiple models will rule the world, no one model. So you guys got it right. We got it right in the cube on that one. Great. Pat ourselves on the back. The issue now is it's about token management. So the best people I talk to are using AI to build tool chains. Tooling is now the new thing. MCP server is obviously one example of some success, but the ability to have tooling to manage the models so you can use your tokens for abstractions that matter, not waste tokens on simple things.
Yeah.
Is this normal? Is this happening?
I think just
Or am I wrong? Or are you getting it right?
I think the marriage between tools and models is best seen in the case of Agentic AI, right? Where now where models are going from just being able to answer questions or find information or just, write code or generate content to be able to, execute tasks end to end by being able to plan and reason and execute. And for that execution, they need to be able to, these systems, these agent systems need to be able to talk to different tools. And that's where also things like protocols like MCP come in, where, you can...
Is SageMaker going to be the place where I go to do that? I mean, or is that at a different level?
I think it's going to be a mix of different services and for different needs. So when you are trying to customize these models to do for your own business use case using your data, I think SageMaker is the place to go. When you're trying to, let's say, build an agent using some of these models.
That's on the other side.
And that's where, for that, we're announcing, Bedrock AgentCore today. Yeah. And
so AgentCore will do some of the things I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You're handling more of the infrastructure tuning. Is that the right?
So infrastructure, more tuning of models.
Yeah.
And then when you want to use models or build agents or workflows around them, that's where
so the order of operations from a stack standpoint is SageMaker and infrastructure management for training, things that are
building, customizing models, deploying models.
And then the developer use cases sit inside the Bedrock layer.
Exactly, for building Gen AI workflows or building agents. So what AgentCore does it, and to give you an analogy, if let's say you're building a new software application, new product, if you're building it, when you build it on a cloud like AWS, you would expect certain primitives or core services to be available to you so that you can build that application quickly, such as compute, storage, and things like that. And so similarly, we thought about, we know that they're going to be, in the future, there are going to be a lot of agents out there doing work, executing different types of tasks. So we thought about, okay, if someone needs to build an agent, what are the right primitives, modules, and tools they're going to need to be able to build an agent faster. And that's what AgentCore solves.
Got it. And then HyperPod is where the people are using it now. That's the big news too.
So SageMaker HyperPod is being quite successful in the sense that it's the easiest way for you to run your AI development tasks on accelerated compute. And some of our top customers have built and customized their models on HyperPod because of the flexibility and the scalability it provides, including Luma AI that have built their video models on HyperPod, WriterAI, or Perplexity. They also do a lot of their AI development on HyperPod as well. And so last week we announced new capabilities that work with HyperPod. So first we announced HyperPod observability, and what that solves, the problem it solves is that today when you're doing AI development, let's say you're training or fine-tuning a model, or you're deploying a model, there's so many, your tech stack is sort of a layered cake. At the top it's the code that you've written, then there's some ML frameworks like PyTorch, underneath that there's the compute layer, then there's the networking layer, then there's the hardware like GPUs. And if, let's say, when I'm trying to execute a task, if something is not happening as per my expectation, I don't know how to troubleshoot it because there's so many layers in the stack. So this new observability capability listens to signals from across the stack and gives you a correlated and unified view at one place, helping you being able to find new opportunities for optimizing your models or for troubleshooting any issues you may be facing, right from days to minutes.
Yeah, so, and talk about the use cases, because I think this is where SageMaker is kind of like, maybe I was a little bit too aggressive to call it the power users, because it's really more than super nerds that go in there, play around.
I would say that if you are...
How would you describe it?
Yeah, so if you are doing things that change the model, let's say if you're preparing data to build a model, you're building a new model, or you're customizing a model.
You're handling the crown jewels, basically. You're in like the high end.
So it's your model development toolkit in some sense.
This isn't the developer. Hey, let's build a vibe code. No. You're tuning the system.
I
mean, basically, you're at the system architecture level.
Exactly. All
right, so what is the most popular use case of SageMaker AI right now? What are people gravitating to the most?
I think the use case where we see a lot of growing adoption is in model customization. And it goes back to the earlier point that I made, is that businesses are now that...
And what problem are they solving with that?
What?
They have too many models, or are they trying to connect them?
Yeah, so the problem they're trying to solve is that now that models are easily available, and a lot of customers have businesses have just models running in production, as a next step, businesses are thinking about, how do I differentiate myself? How do I create a more unique experience that's that embodies my business, my values, etc. And
they're putting their data to work, basically.
Exactly. How can I use my data?
Yeah.
I can take a generic model that everybody has access to, but how can I take my data to create something unique by tweaking or customizing that model? So model customization is becoming...
It's where the innovation is. It's also cost efficiency too, right? There's also a huge financial side.
Absolutely, because there may be a generic model that may be good at 10 different things, but for your use case, you may need a model that does one thing really well. So you could use different model customization techniques. So for example, today in the Nova customization capabilities that we're announcing, we're launching new model distillation capabilities for Nova as well, where you can take a Nova model and create a smaller model that's good at specific tasks, and that can run much more efficiently at lower cost.
Yeah, Ankur, this is what I love about the market, because there's no one answer now.
Exactly.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, as the saying goes.
Exactly.
A customer might say, I want this feature to be our differentiator.
Yes.
Do we have the capabilities to do that?
Yeah.
Well, agents can help you do that too.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, can we do it? If they do it, you just double down on it. Then the next question comes up is scale.
Yeah.
Okay, then Bedrock can handle some of those things. That's where I was kind of confused. So the tooling around the coding of token utilization is a Bedrock issue. You're getting down into, how do I put my data to work?
Exactly.
inside the AI infrastructure, which is essentially a supercomputer
With
at
the
this
models,
point.
yeah. How do I
Which
take my
chips
data?
go with this? Which do I use that?
How do I take my data and
It's like
then
pairing wine with,
exactly. So how do I build models that are more customized?
Okay, so
Or
I got to
take
ask
an
you a question.
existing model and customize it to my use
I put it together. A little slow today. Now, what about the customers? Because I just don't see the profile of the customer, because everyone wants to solve that problem.
Yeah.
They sometimes don't even know what their data is. So what's the makeup of the person that should be running this? Let's just say I'm an organization, I'm in charge. Who in my team is the guy or gal, and or are they raising their hand, or are they just a PyTorch person? Like, who's the steward that's going to go in there and be the tuner? That's a key position. It's like back in the old days, DBA ran everything, right?
Sure.
So that's a bad analogy, but the point is, this is like a critical role.
For sure. So
who does it?
Yeah. So
business person?
Until now, it has mostly been data scientists and ML engineers. So those who know how models work, who understand concepts of fine tuning and models, data, etc. And
a strategist should be in there too. You need a business strategist, competitive strategy.
And now what we're seeing is, as overall software development is becoming more accessible through these vibe coding tools or agentic AI based coding tools. The AI development is sort of a subset of that. So that as well, we think is now.
It sounds like you don't really have a direct clarity. Today it's the engineer tuning, but it could be me, strategist.
I think so. So I think that's already happening. So for example, SageMaker also offers a tool called SageMaker Canvas, where without writing any code, you can go and build a model or customize an existing GenAI model with your data. And so if you know your data, but you've never coded and you don't want to code, you can still go ahead and
code your
UI
data
interface.
Basically vibe code it.
Exactly. And then through vibe coding now, the natural language is becoming the next programming language.
Vibe coding is kind of maybe falling out of fashion, but essentially prompting it to say, hey, you got AI on your side, we'll help you figure out what that could be.
Exactly. And also agentic AI-based software development is now ramping up quickly. Yeah. And we announced Hero a few days ago. I'm sure you heard.
Hero's great. It's got AI to help you figure out what's doable.
Exactly.
They solve the evaluation problem at the developer level.
Exactly. So with agentic AI now, we have systems that use GenAI models that can actually think, plan, and reason, and to execute tasks, and software development or model customization, as we were talking about, is part of that. So I do think that the personas, to your point, that are doing these tasks are just going to broaden.
I think ultimately it's building an agent model. I was just joking with the CrowdStrike guy earlier, because I'm a huge Star Trek and Star Wars fan, and Matrix all apply into the sci-fi. The Clone Wars is one of my favorite Star Wars, where they clone the best fighter. In agents, you can clone. You can actually create a DNA persona to be a steward once you track in what you're tuning and react to, say, the upgrade to Nova, or, hey, I maybe want to use Anthropic. I might want to mix and match my models, which is one of the things I liked out of the Bedrock use cases. That you don't have to lean on Nova, but if you want some Nova customization,
you can. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, what's next for you? How's business? You're the general manager. You got a P&L. How's sales?
Business is doing great. I think customers keep us busy, and we're very excited.
What's your favorite customer success story?
Well, there are a number of them. I think we just talked. I just mentioned Luma and Perplexity. I think they're doing great work. Perplexity is doing amazing work with creating a new sort of Gen AI based search experience. A lot of their technology has been built on.
I love the vision of having a Bloomberg terminal open source. I love that. It's basically open source. Bloomberg's proprietary, but
exactly.
No comment. Ankur, great to see you. What's next for you? What are you doing for reInvent? I'm not going to reveal anything, but what's your focus for the second half? You got the news, going to bring that to market. What's your focus?
Yeah, I think you're going to see more and more capabilities for helping customers move faster with doing everything with GenAI models, from customizing them to easily being able to deploy them, optimize their performance, and really help our customers. Now that customers are past that POC, proof of concept, and experimentation stage, it's really about helping customers maximize the value that they're getting out of GenAI.
Yeah.
So that our investments are really going to be focused on that.
So SageMaker, it's safe to say that's where the power users are. I mean, that's my word, not me.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I think that has been the case, but I think I would say as the tools are getting easier to use, they're getting more accessible as well. So even the type of developers that are now coming and
it's funny. It's like all those words are kind of the same, because I was mentioning you got a lot of tuning of models, customization. Also, there's customization at Bedrock too. So you're always turning knobs with agents. You're always switching things around and checking things out. That's called configuration, right? There's configurations.
Yeah, I think at every layer, even at the agent layer, there's going to be the need for tweaking different things, and that's we like the way we like to build our services is that you can come in and out of the box, get stuff done, but if you want to then unpack and tweak different knobs to further optimize performance or customize something, you can. We provide an easy path.
And I think the customers at the end of the day get from all this, really good custom software, services tailored for their business.
Yeah.
It's like really, you could have a nice tailored suit if you wanted to.
Yeah, with enterprise grade sort of scalability, security, and privacy. Right?
Take those pants out a little bit. We can customize it.
Yeah.
Ankur, thanks for coming on theCUBE. Appreciate it. All right, we're all the action here. We're customizing our content for you. Of course, we got our CubeAI.com. Check it out and all the action. This week in New York City, we are having a Media Week AI and Video Cloud service opportunities here at the NYC and here at the Summit for AWS. Thanks for watching.